If you listen to the mainstream media, you'll believe that Sam Nunberg's epic meltdown yesterday was the end of the Trump presidency. But it's not. If outlets like CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times and the Washington Post, and the list goes on and on and on, were even remotely ethical, they would tell you that Sam Nunberg, this guy who had an epic meltdown yesterday after receiving a subpoena from Robert Mueller, well, he claims he received a subpoena from Robert Mueller. We haven't actually seen it. They would have you believe that Sam Nunberg's meltdown and his comments that Trump probably did something wrong, and then his backpedaling that, well, he really doesn't know, but maybe it happened, they would have you believe it's the end of Trump. What they're not telling you, and the ones that are burying in stories about 12 paragraphs down, 42 words in, is that Nunberg only worked on the Trump campaign for about a month and a half during the primary. He came on board sometime around June of 2015 and was fired after a series of racially charged posts on Facebook around August of 2015, fired by the Trump campaign for his inappropriate behavior. In other words, this guy, Sam Nunberg, wasn't even on the campaign during the general election. He had nothing to do with the win. Now, clearly from his statement, Sam Nunberg has some kind of allegiance to Roger Stone. I've never been a Roger Stone fan. I find Roger Stone a bit immature. Roger Stone is a South Florida-based guy. We have mutual friends. I run into Roger Stone at GOP events down here in South Florida. Over the years, Roger Stone has been known as a political genius, very Machiavellian. He's engaged in dirty tricks. He's been very, very effective. But I feel that Roger Stone was nothing but problems for the Trump campaign. And knowing many, many people who worked on the Trump campaign, who architected the strategies that led to the win, names like Brad Parscale, who architected the data piece of the campaign, that micro-targeting that really showed Trump what voter sentiment was. Brad Parscale now, of course, picked as campaign manager. I look at people like Brad Parscale as architecting the win of the campaign and Trump's diehard, hardworking state directors. But Netflix does a documentary saying, you know, something to the effect of it's searching for Roger Stone or something. I forget the exact name of it. And in the byline, it says, Trump might have won the election, but it was Roger Stone's strategies that got him the White House. That's absolutely not true. I can tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt, having covered the campaign as media, having been to the rallies, having been backstage, having spoken to senior campaign staff, having sources, but just observing the day-to-day operations of the Trump campaign, especially in Florida, the most critical battleground, Roger Stone was a fraction of the reason that Donald Trump won the White House, if his strategies really had any impact at all. It was really Donald Trump's economic and America First message and the frustration of blue-collar voters who won. So Sam Nunberg out there grandstanding, saying, I won't give up Roger Stone, they want me to testify against Roger Stone, appears to me to be more of a PR play than genuine histrionics, although he came off very, very unhinged yesterday on CNN with Erin Burnett. Now, I feel that CNN's Erin Burnett did something very, very unethical. At one point during the interview, Erin Burnett said, I smell alcohol on your breath. He said he had taken nothing. He had drank nothing. He had taken no other substance except his antidepressants. This from a CNN story and from the interview with Erin Burnett. But if Erin Burnett thought, if even 1% of her thought that she was interviewing somebody who was intoxicated, now clearly there was something wrong with Sam Nunberg on the interview, ethically, professionally, Erin Burnett should have stopped the interview, rescheduled it, or canceled it altogether. You don't, when you're in journalism, when you do interviews, have that much of an advantage over your interview subject. This guy was clearly unhinged. And maybe he was afraid of the Mueller subpoena. He did some really, really bizarre things. Some incredibly bizarre things. I'm not going to honor this subpoena. Now, do I disagree with him on that one? No. I think Mueller is engaging in ridiculous fishing expeditions. I'm going to be talking to Jordan Schachtel from Conservative Review later on my longer show, Off the Cuff Declassified, and we're going to discuss all of the problems. Jordan's been doing some great work on that. I've been doing a lot of work on it. We often chat back and forth on social media. Really, really sharp guy, good national security analyst. We're going to be talking about all the problems we have with Mueller. So in theory, I don't disagree with Nunberg's frustrations, but in practice, I think what Nunberg is doing is ridiculous. He's poisoning his own brand because he's making himself look unhinged and foolish. He's aligning with Roger Stone, and if you look at the history of this, anyone who's aligned with Roger Stone has really come out on the losing end, because I think Roger Stone is at a place in his career where he's trying to find his niche, but doing it like a bull in a china shop. And it's working against those he's trying to help. And we're going to go much deeper into all that, like I said, on my longer show, Off the Cuff Declassified, right here on The Rebel. This is really interesting stuff, and I want to keep bringing it to you every day. So please subscribe to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows. Don't forget to go to firescottisrael.com. That's firescottisrael.com. Sign our petition to have Florida Governor Rick Scott remove Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel for his incompetence. The deadly, deadly massacre at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Also, go to your app store, download the Rebel app, and if you've done all those things, or any of those things, thank you very, very much. We really appreciate it. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll be back with you tomorrow.